Let's be honest, you probably suck at prompt engineering and you're struggling to write a good prompt. In this video, I'm going to show you why and how to fix it and how to stop being the middle person in this meme and get to the far right corner. You've probably seen this curve before. On one side, you've got the simple person using Apple Notes or simple tools. On the other hand, there is a genius who is also using Apple Notes. And in the middle is a mediocre person who is overcomplicating everything. Prompt engineering works the same way. On the left, you got people throwing random questions into ChatGPT and somehow getting by. On the far right, you got people who really understand how to talk to models. They understand how model works and they have a toolkit. They know the science and they can build reliable AI systems. And in the middle is where the most people are stuck. They understand how a model works, but they're not able to write the prompts correctly. They binge magic prompt templates. They copy paste huge blocks from various online sources. And the moment something breaks, they have no idea why. This video is about getting you off the plateau and into the actually knows what they are doing bucket, which is far right corner. You can be the smart one. So why your current prompt skills are not enough? Here's the problem. Most people think prompt engineering means open ChatGPT, paste a template, tweak the answer with the follow-up messages. That's what I'll call conversational prompting. Because you are in the loop, you can always alter the answers by saying, oh, make it shorter, change the tone, I don't like it, make it better, and whatever. It's forgiving, but it's great for personal use because you can alter with follow-up prompts. But that's not how AI works in real systems. When you're building workflows, automations, or agents, you're in single shot land. In this example here, you will get only a single shot at the prompt. You have to get it right the first time. There are no follow-up clarifications. If it adds extra text or changes the format, the whole system breaks. So conversational prompting can make your job faster, but single shot prompting is what lets you build AI system. That's what we are focusing on this video. So why prompt engineering really matters? So here's a quote you might have seen before. The honest new programming language is English. This was quoted by Andrej, who is the founding member of OpenAI and a leading AI researcher. The idea is simple. If you can write clear instructions in natural language, you can replace chunk of code with well-structured prompt, or you have model write the code for you. A good prompt can replace hundreds of lines of code. If you're only good at chatting with AI, you will save a bit of time at work. If you're good at designing prompts that never need you in the loop, you can build AI agents, voice flows, and automation tools. Things that creates real value. So this isn't just a nice to have skill. If you want to build with AI, everything sits on top of prompt engineering. So there are two types of people. You can leave this video as one of two. There is a guy on the left which uses random prompt templates, panics when they don't work, tries a bigger and most expensive model instead of fixing the prompt, ends up with slow and expensive system. But in this, he doesn't know how to fix if something is broken. And the person on the right have the engineering mindset, has a toolkit of prompt, components, and techniques, and understand how and why they work, gets a great result out of cheaper models by writing a better prompts, and builds a fast and affordable system. So be the guy on the right. That's a smart one. Let's talk about the prompt formula we'll be using. It's not a formula in real sense. It's just about explaining the models what you want to achieve in a very structured manner. This is not a copy this magic template and you will get the job done. I want you to understand the components so that you can remix and debug them. So these 6 pieces will show up again and again. A role, a task, specifics, context, examples, and notes. And we wrap the whole thing in a simple markdown heading. So both you and model see the clear structure. Now we'll walk through each piece and show you what it does. And we'll put together in a real world example. The example we're going to be using today is email classification system, where the email comes in. We ask ChatGPT to mark it as an opportunity, needs attention, or ignore. So a typical ChatGPT prompt by a regular user will be classify the following email into ignore, opportunity, or needs. And we'll paste the email content here. So that's bare minimum basic, which anyone can do. So how we will structure this prompt. So first we'll define the role. Instead of saying, hey, ChatGPT, classify this email, we'll tell the model who it is in a way that helps the task. This covers role prompting. It is a technique where language model is assigned a specific role to play during the interaction. So for this, our prompt will be, you are an experienced email classification assistant that accurately categorizes emails based on their content and potential business impact. If you tell the model what kind of expert it is and what it's good at, it tends to do a better job. We always start with the clear and advantageous role. Key takeaway is select the roles that provide the advantage of a specific task and enrich with additional words to highlight how good they are. Now, moving on to the task. A task is what most people typically throw at a model expecting a result, like classifying your email. But we also need to add step-by-step instructions on how to do that, like a chain of thought. So in this prompt, we have provided a chain of thought. Your task is to read email and assign one label, ignore opportunity or needs attention. Follow these steps. Identify who the email is from and what they want. Decide if it could lead to revenue or important relationships. Choose the most appropriate label based on the definitions below. So we have given a step-by-step instruction on how to achieve this. This think in steps style is called chain of thought prompting. For multi-step problems, it can dramatically boost reliability compared to single vague instruction. So the key idea here is don't just say what to do, give a short checklist on how to do it. Now, getting into the specifics, this section gives you a chance to list down the most important notes regarding the execution of the task. This integrates another technique called emotional prompting. When we add specifics, we add little bullet points that tighten the rule, plus a bit of emotional framing. So in our prompt, we've mentioned only output one of these labels. This task is very critical to the success of our business. So please provide a thorough analysis of the email. If you're unsure, always choose need attention. Adding these simple phrases like these encourages the model to engage in more thorough and deliberate processing. Moving on to context. This is where you tell the model what kind of world it is in. Context helps the model line up its decision with your reality. Providing context as to what environment the LLM is operating in and why it is doing the specific task. This combines the role prompting and emotional prompting while explaining the importance of LLM's role in the success. So in our example, we have mentioned our company sells AI automation services for small business. We receive high volume of inquiries, blah, blah, blah. Your classifications help our sales team to prioritize their efforts and respond to the inquiry. So here we are telling the LLM why we want you to do this task, where we are sitting, we are automation company, and it will help our sales team to do the task or prioritize the task. So when you give a context to the LLM, the brain starts thinking in that way. So you don't need paragraphs of stories. Just few sentences are more than enough to clarify the context. Okay, moving on to examples. That's a big one. Using examples is also called few short prompting. So this increases the performance and fine-tune the responses. This is where the input and output examples are provided to the language models as part of the prompt. Studies shows that just adding 3 or 4 good examples can massively increase the accuracy compared to when no examples are given. So in our prompt, we have provided 3 different examples. So if you're getting an email like, I don't know, just a company, I'm interested in using AI to automate, that's opportunity. If the email is, please unsubscribe me, that's big no. And if it's a current client and the system is down, that means need attention. You don't need 30 examples. Just start with 3, 4, or 5, which are common and tricky cases, and you'll see the big jump in performance. Now, the last section is notes. This is your chance to remind the LLM of key aspects of the task and add any final details to tweak. This section is based on lost in the middle effect. That means if anything which was missed in the previous 5 steps or lost in the middle, in other words, the note section will handle that. And this is also because when you are providing a large amount of input tokens to an LLM tends to forget what happened previously. So in our prompt, we've added notes like respond only with the label. We don't need explanations. Do not include quotes or extra text. If the email content is empty or spam, use ignore. You can add as many notes you want. to refine the working of your system. So we put role and task at the top, put few key reminders at the bottom in the notes, keep the whole prompt as short and clean as we can. That way, model is more likely to follow the important bits. So you can see where we started, just one line of prompt, which probably won't work in a real life scenario, versus prompt on the right, where we have defined all the roles and context and gave few examples and notes, which will help us achieve what we really want to. From outside, it just looks like a prompt, but inside, you have sacked role prompting, chain of thoughts, emotional cues, few shock prompting, and lost in the middle awareness into all one block of text. That's the difference between, well, it usually works and it has run 1,000 times without breaking. So let's wrap it up. Prompt engineering is not about memorizing one magic template. It's about knowing which lever exists, like role, step, specific context examples, knowing the technique behind them, and then mixing and tweaking them like an engineer. So when if it breaks something, you know how to fix it. So hopefully you are now at the right end of this graph. You're the smart one and you know how to write the prompts. Here's how I practice after this video. Pick one real task. Write a first version using 6-part structure we just discussed. Throw in 10-ish examples to that. When it messes up, fix the prompt, not the answer. Add a specific bullet point or add another example. Tighten your note sections and then save it, and you'll see your output will slowly start to build up. If you do that, you stop being the middle guy and you'll become the person who can actually pen the cheap models at your will. If this helped you understand prompt engineering properly, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment with the next AI system you want me to build, and I'll choose one from that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.